Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to see more content like this. Alright, let's get into today's video. In today's video, we'll be going over the first week 2 daily map being Abandoned Mine. This one, for me, took me only one attempt. This is my second attempt doing it though, because I forgot to record my first attempt run. But the strat is pretty much the same from when I did it the first time around. The only annoying things is the deploy limit, so you can't really use too many ranged operators since you're going to need a couple of ground operators to block stuff. This is basically a DPS track map. The Mudrock Colossuses have their maximum buff, and also the attack is basically at its risk 3 as well. So this is just a DPS check stage. I basically am using a lot of debuffing actually. So I have Praminix, Suzerain, and Zarya, along with Shalter and Skulter, and then Mudrock is on skill 3. The Mudrock Colossus are actually not too difficult actually, if you have these debuffs. It might be a difficult one to do if you're trying to do it for the first time or you're a newer player and you haven't experienced CC4. And yeah, this one's really chill for high-end players. So yeah, let's let this run go through a bit, because it's pretty straightforward. Since the Mudrock Colossuses are immune to stuns, it's not going to be too efficient if you're trying to use stalling, like for, yeah, again, like Mudrock skill 3 or Texas or Axe, normal attacks. He is not immune to slow though, or bind, so you can use that kind of crowd control on him. As you can see, my deploy limit is maxed out, and I can't place my Warframe down, so I'm gonna have to redeploy 2 units, and I'm only going to be using Surtur here. So Warframe is just a, let's say, not going to be used at all for this stage. Alright, here comes the first Mudrock Colossus. And you're going to see how overkill this is. And yeah, if you have this much debuffing and damage output, you're going to be taking these guys out with no issue. The mixture of increasing arts resistance with Zarya's skill 3, Suzerain's debuffing on her skill 3, Shalter's slow effect in her slow and defense shred, and Praminix is also doing debuffing, so basically these guys' stats are pretty much nothing. The only thing I think is an issue is their high attack from all enemies, not just the Mudrock Colossuses. And this makes both Big Bob and Mudrock a joke compared to the Mudrock Colossuses, because they do not have any buff whatsoever. Right there, I used the Manticore Slow for Mudrock so that they can pile up a little bit more, because normally Mudrock is a little bit in front of the Colossus, like by a couple. Okay, so even without the Warframe buff, Surtur is still able to pump out lots of arch damage. And with the arch resistance debuff from herself and Zarya, it just, and Praminix actually, it just makes it feel like the arch resistance risk feel like nothing. And yeah, Shalter finishes Big Bob off, it's pretty easy. This one's really negated towards using a lot of debuffing, so if you don't have much debuffing, then this might be a little bit of a struggle stage, but this one was fairly easy for people like me. And yeah,